Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Why silver? So today I'm going to talk about why Billy is a silver bug, but also how I encouraged Billy to be a silver bug because I'm a silver bug. We'll go over that. Why own silver? Some people are asking me. A lot of times we take things for granted, but prior to having bought silver for investment or for saving, I never really thought much about silver. Before that though, let's quickly look at the markets, where they are this morning. Someone commented yesterday, it's not really a market. Yes, I kind of agree. It's highly manipulated by the huge inflation of fiat currency out there. But be as it may, it's still the market that we have. So it's 8:15 a.m. London. Spot gold did very well yesterday. I was surprised it was able to break through 1800. I thought the bullion banks would have put a bigger fight, but they didn't. This morning or overnight, we've been as high as 1816. Right now we're at 1808.50, down about $1. The low's been 1806. Silver got up to 28.35 overnight. Right now it's at 28.04, down about 8 or 1/3%. The stock market didn't do very well yesterday. I noticed the Dow finished up very marginally. I think, it finished up 27 points. But the S&P finished down 0.75%, and the NASDAQ finished down 2.5%. Anyway, right now the Dow futures up 93. The NASDAQ has rebounded a little bit. It's up 50. S&P up 13. The currencies, yes, the dollar continues to weaken versus the major currencies. The pound is particularly strong. I think the pound is quite overvalued relative to other fiat currencies. And gold as well. Some people are saying the reason why the pound is doing well is because the UK has done so well with the crisis. And I think that's a load of baloney, to be honest. As we found out yesterday, the economy here is not going to reopen anytime soon. It's going to be months before everything's up and running. I don't know what people are smoking to think that the pound is a strong currency. Not that all the other ones aren't, of course, versus real money, gold and silver. Anyway, the euro is up slightly, 121.64. Dollars unchanged versus the yen at 105.13. And the dollar is down slightly versus the yuan at 6.46. Yeah, commodities, general commodities, aside from gold and silver, are continuing to go gangbusters, if you want to call it that. High-grade copper up 0.5% right now at 417. We've got WTI crude up 1% at 62.35. And just show you here the CRB index. So that's a weekly chart. We're fast approaching some key levels here. I think it's around 210. That was the high from May 2018. So yes, I've said it many times. Markets don't go up in a straight line. You should expect volatility. I noticed yesterday my mining shares, I've got mostly silver now, mining shares, they went up like double digits in terms of percentage. Hecla Mining was up 13, and I think First Majestic was up 12%. Yeah, the bond market kind of calmed down yesterday after I made my video. It stayed pretty steady, didn't go higher than 140. Right now, the 10-year yield is at 1.36, basically unchanged. The high in the last couple of days or this week has been 140. The 30-year is at 218. And just quickly before we go into silver, I know you're probably waiting for that. Janet Yellen yesterday, I think she gave an interview to was it New York Times or something? and Zero Hedge reported on it. They said Yellen sets the stage for higher corporate taxes, yield curve control, and a digital dollar. I'm just going to cover here the yield curve control. What is that? Well, they did that in the post-war World War II era in the mid to late 40s, early 50s. Basically, the Fed said, we're going to keep the 10-year yield, let's say, at 1.5. We're going to cap it there. And the market will respect that target. They know that if they try to sell the 10-year through that yield, so that the yield would, sell it in terms of price, so the yield would break through 1.5. They know the Fed would come in and start buying, print money to start buying those treasuries to keep it below 1.5. So the market actually just leaves when it gets to 1.5, or the price drops to a certain level. They stop. It kind of controls the market like that with a threat, basically. The interesting thing is whether we see CPI, what they call inflation, running hot. Maybe the market will challenge that, because you could have 3 or 4% CPI and a 10-year target for control at 1.5. You're losing money on a real basis. The real yield is negative there. So it's not QE, but it basically threatens the market with QE to control that yield. I think the fact that they're talking about that is bullish for gold, because it means they want to write off the debt by shortchanging investors by letting him have a yield of 1.5 while the prices are rising at like 3 or 4%. Did it affect gold in the 40s and 50s? No, because gold was fixed, and the US had a lot of gold at the time. It was fixed at 35, but now gold isn't fixed it's not at a fixed rate anymore, and we are under fiat currency system. And if you want to know how the world was, and I watched this yesterday, it was quite amazing. Or not the world in particular, but how the United States, how life was in the US in the 60s. Watch this video. It's called American Nostalgia, the 1960s thrifty wife. It's about families and how they used to live in the 60s. And it's amazing that they never talk about borrowing. They're always talking about saving, putting money away. It's quite amazing how things have changed. It's about 24 minutes. I'll put it up in the cards and in the description. So watch that to see how things have changed. So now to silver. Yeah, silver. Yes, Billy's a silver bug, but he's a silver bug because I'm a silver bug, of course. And I've said many times, maybe some of you haven't heard it because you're new to the channel. We're getting a lot of new subscribers. I bought gold for the first time back in 2002. Gold is, of course, savings or monetary gold. I had gold, my gold ring from my wedding. It's white gold, by the way. Yes, my mother, my sisters had gold jewelry. So of course, people know about gold. But yeah, gold for investment or savings, first time was 2002. Why did I do that? Well, because you had the dot-com bubble burst a year or two before. My private pension dropped a lot. It was mostly invested in the stock market, in the US, Europe, worldwide, property market. And my wife and I started thinking, what else could we put some of our savings in? And we thought, well, why not gold? So I decided to buy some Krugerrands back in 2002 with gold investments. I found gold investments. I looked it up on the internet, and they were close to my office in the city. So yeah, and to be honest, at university, I did study international relations with an emphasis in economics. So I did a lot of economics at university. And the only time I heard about gold was maybe a professor said it for like 20 seconds, said, oh yeah, back in 1971, Nixon closed the gold window. And that was it. Didn't go over why he closed the gold window, what gold was all about. So they try to avoid talking about that. So the other reason I got into gold is that I had started reading about the Austrian School of Economics, free markets. And I started reading Rothbard and Mises and a lot about gold. So that's what interested me in sound money. And then eventually, you can't really know about gold without knowing about silver. So a year later, I bought my first kilo bar from Gold Investments. I have the date here. This is the receipt, 4th of July, 2013. One silver kilo bar. I can show it to you because it's my old address. It doesn't matter. So there you go. The date is here, 4th of July. Kilo bar, and the price is 118 pounds, VAT 20 pounds 65, total 138.65, as you can see. So that was my first silver. Just to give you an idea what the price was in terms of ounces, well, with the VAT, 118 pounds is the equivalent of 3 pounds 67 per ounce, and with the VAT is 431. I think the spot price, the fake bankster price right now, is around 20 pounds. So yeah, that's how low silver was. Maybe I should have bought 10 kilo bars back then, but I didn't. I have been accumulating, of course, stacking since then. So that was the first time I got into silver. And yes, I had silver before, but I didn't really care about it. What kind of silver did I have? Well, for example, I have a few of my prizes from playing golf. And yes, I still play golf. I still have won prizes in the last few years, but this was back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was still in Switzerland. I was playing a lot of golf, not just club golf, but what we call amateur golf, like going around Switzerland playing pretty high level golf. So I've got, at the time, I was winning things like that. And I didn't even realize that, I didn't care to look underneath and see that it was silver, and now I do. So that's like 80% silver. I think that European or Italian style silver for these kinds of things, for cups. So there's another one here. This one is from 1991, so 30 years. And it says here, second prize at the Swiss Interclubs. So what's the Interclubs? Well, it's a competition amongst all the golf clubs in Switzerland for the top prize. So the lowest handicap players, they play this every year. So it's 2-day competition. First day is foursomes, which is alternate shots. Second day is a team of 6, and you play individually. And the club with the lowest score wins. And on the second day, I came second in the individual, which was very good. And I actually had the best score, which was 72, 1 over par. Someone else had a 72, but he had a better score on the back 9, so he won the first prize. So this is silver as well. And here's a photo that I have on that day. I think the captain of the team, he was a keen photographer, so he took this photo here of me. And that was the day I shot that 72, and that was on the 6th hole. And then there's some other ones. I do have more silver cups from golf, but my wife keeps them somewhere else because she says, if you want to polish them regularly, bring them down from the loft. That's where they are. So I've got these here. So that's the only kind of silver I had. And I actually won that, didn't buy it. I weighed it the other day. It's worth quite a bit. maybe a few £100, maybe more right now. So that's the history of silver for me. And then when I started learning about the history of silver as money, I got more and more interested, and I started also buying numismatic coins, old coins. Yes, I do have a lot of bullion coins, but I also like the numismatic coins, and you do pay a premium for those, but it's fun because I love history as well, as you probably know, and these coins tell you a lot about history, and it's just so interesting. And yeah, that's why Billy's a silver bug like me, because silver is such an interesting metal. It's been part of monetary history for thousands of years. Names of currencies like the dollar are a derivation of silver coins. Names of or words for money in countries like France, argent. I mean, that means silver. It also means money. Plata in Spanish means money, and it means silver. I mean, shekel as well, I think in Israel means silver. And I could go on and on and on. And am I frustrated that silver, the silver price has been manipulated since 1980? No, I'm not, because I know from reading history, from reading about economics, especially the Austrian School of Economics, where they explain that the free market eventually wins over governments and central banks. I'm convinced that silver will get back to where it should in terms of purchasing power. I'm not even thinking about the price here. I'm thinking of more that it's been undervalued relative to other things. So I think it's a good thing to have. And it's fun to have as well if you have the numismatic coins. And yeah, I'm not going to go into the numismatics here. Maybe I'll do a video later on about it if you're interested. So that's it. Billy and I, yeah, we do like silver aside from gold. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.